What's up, everybody? My name is Jerome. I'm a manager of customer development here at iAcquire. And today we're going to be talking about chapters 7 and 8 of Joe Pulizzi's book, Epic Content Marketing. So let's start with chapter 7, which is more right or less right. And what does that mean? That's just another way of saying there's no right or wrong. But, obviously, different way, different chapter. It's a book. So anyway, let's start with personal statement. In marketing and content marketing, you want to make a personal statement and personalize what differentiates you from someone else who's marketing in the same kind of vertical. And his example was James Bond has his gun, which needs his handprint for it to operate rather than just a general killing machine. So make it personal, make it about something that differentiate yourself, not just be part of the pack, just a salmon going upstream with the rest of them. And then there's no right or wrong, which is essentially another way of saying more right or less right. So what he means by that is when you create a content strategy and you're doing content marketing, you're never just definitively wrong. You might be less right or more right than what is defined as being the perfect way to market in a specific vertical or for a specific product or within a specific industry. But what he's saying is just go with what you feel is the right path, and we'll get into a little bit more of that later. And within this chapter, he talks about content marketing maturity models and breaks them down into 3 specific categories. The first one being a content-aware maturity model. So content-aware is someone who wants to give their audience, give their readership, their potential customers information that's going to empower their decision and actually help them be found. So the example that he used was a travel company, Teen on Tours, who created all this different blog content, but Irish tours, Irish travel, really helpful blog posts, really helpful content that helped them to be found for that informational, very helpful content. And it helped their site increase by 54% in organic traffic. And within this, the tenets of the content awareness maturity model are being found, having trust with that content, and to generate greatness. So when you tell people this great advice or you offer something up that someone else isn't offering, you want it to be great. You want them to think, well, this guy knows exactly what they're talking about. This company has the greatest perspective on this type of issue, and I'm thankful that they're putting it out there. The next one is a thought leader, and this is a kind of an extension of being content aware, but it isn't so B2C or me, the company, giving you, the consumer, the empowerment to make a good decision if something is trivial as travel, though I think travel is great. But it's more B2B and helping not only your customers, but the industry that you exist in. So that's meeting demand. Do people want to know? And in this sense, search and marketing, people want to know more about marketing. They want to know better ways to market things. That's why this book exists. And for creating trust, how do you create trust at a certain level where I'm not just creating content to attract customers, I'm creating content to better the industry, to have people within the industry trust us, trust our company to generate ideas and generate information that not only affects someone who wants to buy from us, but affects the way that our industry is being perceived. And the efficient funnel, so getting people to understand and buy into this idea efficiently. You're putting it out there in a way that people can actually digest, writing books about it, making infographics, making videos, directly influencing how this is done and how it's consumed. OpenView Venture Partners is a good example of a thought leader company. They're a smaller company, but what they've been able to do is attract a lot of interest with high-level entrepreneurs that a company as small as them might not be privy to normally without a content strategy that they employ. And what they do is try to get influencers and people within different industries to speak on their behalf, to write on their behalf, and build kind of a culture of industry-wide expertise and information spreading that's at a higher level than just being a content-aware firm that's going to say, okay, you're an entrepreneur, here are some cool tips for starting a business. It goes beyond that. And the third is being a storyteller. And the example here is Coca-Cola. And a lot of this goes down to branded, I'm choosing Coke over Pepsi, I'm choosing McDonald's over Burger King. And why is that? Why does someone want to go with the brand? Because that's part of the story that you're wrapped up into. It's part of the feeling that you get from that content that you're consuming from that marketing effort from that company. So it actually creates demands. You might not know that you need a new flavor of Pop-Tarts until you see that advertisement. And how do you differentiate yourself? Well, we are different than our competition because of X, or we're Coca-Cola. We spread happiness. We're for your picnic. You remember us from your childhood. You see us in restaurants. So how are you different? How do you kind of lay that story out in a very plain, easy to access, and you create evangelists. So going back to the Coca-Cola example, you have people out there who only drink Coke and people who only drink Pepsi. Some people call cola just Coke, regardless of what brand it is. So that's what they're trying to do by being storytellers and creating that brand message that people want to follow. So that's chapter 7. This is chapter 8 of Joe Pulizzi's book, Epic Content Marketing. And this chapter is, what is epic content marketing? So it's like in the movie where they say the title of the movie. That's this chapter. So what he wants to get into is first, and almost fully in this chapter, is why your content marketing is not efficient. Why isn't it performing? Or in layman's terms, why your content sucks. So let's go down the long checklist that he has for us as to why your content sucks, and we'll see if this kind of applies to what you're doing. So reasons why it sucks. 1, it's all about you. It's not about your consumers. It's not about the people who want to buy from you. It's about you. You think you know what's good, but you might not actually connect with your audience. 2, you're too afraid to fail with your content marketing. You try something outside the box. Don't just put all of your budget into non-refined, non-trackable means. Be creative and try new things. Try things that might actually reach your target consumer base. Setting the bar too low. You have to expect to catch lightning in a bottle sometimes if you keep being aggressive and if you keep trying new things. Not sourcing correctly. This is a little abstract, but you're just not getting the type of content creation. You're not getting the type of materials or content strategies in place that effectively get your message across and accurately describe what you do. Communicating in silos. You're just kind of funneling what you're saying, and it doesn't spread to a broader audience. You're just communicating to one specific person, to another specific person, and it alienates the overall content strategy that you want to kind of engender a community here. Don't seek discomfort. You're not looking for things that are maybe risky, so it kind of ties into being too afraid to fail. After that, there's no call to action. Maybe there's a content strategy you have that's a little too fluffy. It doesn't bring people back to the point of this, which is to become a customer of yours in some fashion. You're too focused on one channel. A lot of people say, well, we're all about Pinterest. We're about YouTube. Twitter's how we reach people. We reach people through our blog. But by diversifying, you're able to understand over time what works, what doesn't work, and if you're too one-channel focused, then you can kind of box yourself into a corner and become, and put yourself behind when you don't realize you're doing so. You are creating a backup plan. This might sound a little weird, but in creating a backup plan, Joe Pulizzi tries to tell us that in doing so, you're already setting yourself up to fail. You expect to fail by creating that backup plan rather than having full buy-in for your initial content strategy and your initial plans. There's no content owner. He says that with anything that you're trying to do internally, you're trying to push out a piece of static content in your website. You're trying to do something that's of a social or creative nature. Whatever it is, someone internally has to own that content, has to basically take care of and nurture that content rather than just putting it out there, not tending to it, not trying to track it or understand how that can grow, build on itself and lead to better, more content within that similar vein. And no C-level buy-in. He said that companies that have no C-level buy-in compared to exclusively executive buy-in, C-level buy-in being the actual workers, the busy bees within the company, if they don't buy into that message that you're putting out, it's only based in the boardroom, the number he quoted was 300% less effective. There's 300% less effectiveness for a content marketing campaign if the employees don't buy in, and it's a big percentage. Not industry immersed. So maybe you don't understand exactly what's going on within your industry, how people are marketing content within your industry, or what people who are interested in your products even want. So not knowing what your competition and what people who you're trying to fend off from a content marketing perspective are doing is going to hurt you. You're not serving a defined niche. So this might seem a little counterintuitive to communicating in silos, but if you're not serving a defined niche and that is what you're trying to go after, you are serving just people who want a specific product and that's all you sell, but you're too general and you're trying to fit yourself into a box where maybe you're selling custom USB cards and you want to rank for flash cards, USB cards. Well, that's too general, and perhaps your content marketing strategy needs to touch on somebody who's really looking for your product and would really appreciate your product if they were able to find content that you're producing. You're too slow. You just can't keep up with the times. You can't produce content. You can't attack topical real-time events and topical content that you could take advantage of. You want to always try to hit on what is actually happening within your industry and what your potential customers would be interested in. You're inconsistent with your distribution. Maybe one day you'll say, okay, we're really going to focus on video creation here, or we want to just write a lot of blog posts about whatever it may be, or we're going to hit traditional social media like Twitter and Facebook hard during this time period. By diversifying and distributing your content, you can counteract that, and that's what he's going for. And there's not enough search in mind. Why do people even want to find you? Why are you desired within your industry, and why do people want to buy from you? Always remember that all this content is for people to get that brand name, to find you, to search for you and notice your brand, your products, and convert.